Welcome to Mystic Moons and Kochi. Kochi who says meow, if you can hear that. He's like, can you hear me? This is a reading for Aquarius. Aquarius, the Aquarius collective, if you have significant Aquarius energy. If you have an Aquarius sun, an Aquarius moon, an Aquarius rising, several planets and or houses in Aquarius, well, this is a reading for you. Aquarius, as it is a reading for the collective, take what resonates. If you would like a personal reading, I am available. You can contact me for a private reading or catch me on one of the open lives, the personal reading lives. Aquarius, if you appreciate my time and energy, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. And Aquarius, if you have any comments, please do let me share. Kochi, he is not an Aquarius, although he has things to share. Kochi, come on, Kochi. He's throwing a little tantrum. I hear you. He says, do you really? Yes, I really do. Hear the meows of the pink-nosed Kochi. Quiet. Yeah, you, quiet. Just when you have three quiet, then the fourth one has to go meow. He's the youngest of all my kitty cats, and he has a behavior, Aquarius, much like the youngest in a family. He says he's the baby. He's the largest one that I have, but he says he's the baby. He goes to everyone else to be protected too, although he's the largest and the strongest now. But he's still the baby. And I admit, out of all the cats meowing, no one has the baby voice down like my largest Kochi. Anyway. Forgetting about Kochi. Aquarius, this is a reading for you. Shall we get into it, Aquarius? What's the message to go and share for you? Aquarius, I have Four of Cups. Four of Vessels for Aquarius with Two of Swords. Aquarius, what have you been starving yourself from? I could say maybe in this energy, Aquarius, something has been starved from you. But Two of Swords, Four of Cups, both of these energies, Aquarius, are very conscious energies. They're a conscious choice. Also, too, in this state, very firm decisions have been made, are being made, will continue to be made in this vein. With that bright energy of the sun, King of Wands energy, essentially. Ace of Cups, Ten of Vessels. Aquarius, this is a little bit of that aesthetic energy coming in, that which you withhold from yourself, that which you keep yourself from. Something really big that you turn away from. Someone's turning away from something in this energy, Aquarius. So we have a Four of Cups. Four of Cups gets an Ace of Cups. Five of Wands. And a Prince of Swords, a Page of Swords energy, bottom of the deck energy, Hangman. Lots of water here, Aquarius. Maybe you have significant water placements. Aquarius, maybe you know someone with significant water placements. Maybe Aquarius, something quite significant has happened for you. I would say could happen to you, but this really is like foundation energy in which stuff is built from, not necessarily coming to. But maybe the summer months have been significant to you in some way. A realization, a need for change, and you initiating that change, you purposely ignoring, refuting something, something around the summer. Someone refuted something around the warm summer months, maybe in this energy, Aquarius, right before summer happened or right before the deep of summer began. So I have significant Cancerian energy, I have Leo energy, and I have some Piscean energy here. Capricorn, Taurus, Aquarius. With that five energies here, fives are wild energies. Fives are harbingers of transformation, Aquarius. When a five shows up, things cannot remain the same. Things are in a huge state of flux. Then we have an Ace of Coin, Hangman. One would almost say in this energy, Aquarius, risk and gain. What do you pursue? What do you let go, Aquarius, for the larger gain? And with that larger gain, Aquarius, what have you purposely been cutting out of your life to achieve? Sacrifices, Aquarius, for the larger goal. Sacrifices, Aquarius, for something you truly believe in. And so with this Four of Vessels, that's precisely what this is. Ace of Vessels, Five of Wands, Page of Swords. Well, first of all, this energy is almost a bit desperate. It is very frantic. As I said, the numeric vibration of five by itself is a very alive energy. You know, fives are busy energies. Five inform change, inspire change, cause change, significant change. How things have been before Aquarius, no way will they be after. One can't go back in a five energy. Things will not be the same in a five energy, even if you try. So this speaks of almost like trying out a different way of being, a different way of thinking, taking risk. Five of Wands, um, Page of Swords energy, acting in a way that you would not normally be inclined to do, being candid in a way, acknowledging what makes you happy, acknowledging your emotions in a way that you would not be normally inclined to do. Also, to revealing those emotions in a way that you would not be inclined to do. Under a four of vessel energy, all of this is like pending for it, waiting for it. So let's find out more. Should we find out about this Ace of Cups, or maybe, before we do anything, let's find out about this Page of Swords energy. The Page of Swords energy that calls for one to be direct, one to also innovate. You're going out of your way in a Page of Swords energy to make a point. But under a Four of Vessels, how to do that, how best to do that, when to do that. I already said how to do that. But that comes up again. Page of Swords gets Four of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Calculating, Aquarius, with that Ace of Swords here. Page of Swords wants to move forward, but Page of Swords does not want to lose that which they've built. Page of Swords wants to keep their wealth with them. Page of Swords wants to ensure that any movements that they take them with the sure promise of success. Very calculating energy here that really wants to only go towards the most prosperous things possible, the most prosperous situations possible, make the most prosperous alliances possible. This is not someone who's into taking risk, someone who wants to go with a sure thing, Aquarius, of what provides that stability, that comfort, that guaranteed wealth, as long as they just extend themselves perhaps once or perhaps in a certain way, and then it's over. Not really a constantly striving energy with that Page of Swords. Five of Wands gets Three of Wands. The Sun, we knew the Sun was going to come out anyway. And Judgment. Ten of Cups, bottom of the deck energy here. So Aquarius, significant Leo energy here that's coming up. But also too, with all this fire here, Aquarius, that which won't be ignored, that which can't be ignored. The partnerships that you have already developed, Aquarius, the connections you've already made, you've already seen the value of those connections. You've already seen the value of different types of people and different types of situations to know what is beneficial for you and what isn't. Where do you want, which connections do you value and want to pursue, and which ones you don't? I would also say in this energy too, Aquarius, perhaps those valuable connections, maybe there's a little bit of a mismatch there with Five of Wands, Three of Wands energy, a mismatch, but just because it's opposite doesn't mean it can't complement, doesn't mean it can't work. Sun and Judgment here is talking about situations that are greater than self. Some things are worth putting out a whole bunch of effort, Aquarius, for what it could yield, or at least to have the chance to see what it would yield. Ace of Vessels. I have the World. Eight of Vessels. And Time. Wheel of Fortune with 10 of Wands. Lots of timing cards, practically timing cards, are all through this particular energetic spread, with Ace of Cups, a new start, World, talking about cycles, also patterns. Same thing with the World. Both of these energies, World and Wheel of Fortune, share a lot of similarities in the fact that they talk about our place in a moving environment. How do we adjust to change? How do we influence the change that's happening? How easily are we carried away by circumstances? And how do we manage ourselves in those circumstances with situations, environmental happenings that are outside of our control? Also, Ten of Wands, an end of a phase here. Some more energy talking about moving on, walking on. So far, Aquarius, a lot of opportunities have been presented to you. Whether or not you've chosen to take it or you've chosen to walk away from it. And in those connections, in those situations that you've experienced, Aquarius, all that's done is laid out a much wider framework, a much wider web for new happenings in the same theme, oddly enough, Aquarius, to come to you. You know, in this energy, Aquarius, you can think about the fact that we're all connected by 3 degrees of separation. Think about it, Aquarius. Someone who's connected to you is connected to someone else, and that someone else could be anyone. And when you're with someone else or a group of people, you really are connected to the world. You're connected to the highest elements of society, the poorest elements of society, famous elements of society, um, mediocre elements of society. Everyone connected by that 3 degrees of separation. And that's really what is here for you, Aquarius. Through the people that you have thus far known, you have been developing ties with a much larger group, Aquarius, but yet still in the same hamster wheel. And probably too, Aquarius, some of those connections at some point will start to overlap and repeat themselves. And again, we come back to 4 of Vessels, Aquarius. What do you turn away from, Aquarius, for the larger gain, for the best gain? And perhaps, Aquarius, what will you Or should I say, what will be turned away from you in the future yet to come? All of that is in flux, and all of that, Aquarius, is all based upon how firmly do you pursue the current opportunities you have in front of you. Many different options, and only one path you can explore at a time. Bye-bye, Aquarius.